Hi guys! Is this my first live? Maybe it's my second live. But I'm still trying to figure this out because I've got two monitors. And so that you guys are on Facebook and on Instagram and you're both getting this. Today I'm going to show you how to put together a strawberry mini quilt block, okay? So this particular block, I gotta catch my breath. I just ran up the stairs and down again because I had my AirPods connected. So if you're watching this, this is originally alive. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is originally alive on my Instagram feed, which is at Karina Gardner, and my Facebook page, which is my artist page, okay? So we're gonna put together a strawberry block today, and if you are part of my Fabric VIP group, which is totally free, and you can join on my website at karinagardner.com, and there says it's exclusive VIP. If you go and click on that, you can choose to be part of my Fabric VIP group. So in this group, I send out free PDFs. So if you don't want to have to handwrite all the measurements out today, which is what you're going to have to do via this video because I don't have it anywhere else, you need to sign up for my Fabric VIP group because this block goes out as a freebie every now and then, and it's going out today as part of my 12 days of Christmas, but I know it will go out again probably sometime in summer or spring because I have a feeling that I'm going to love this block so much that I'm going to need to make an entire quilt. So okay, let's see. So pieces you need a 10-inch actually it's a 10.5 by 10.5 piece of red fabric. I'm using fabric from my line So Ruby, which came out last year, so you might not have access to it, but any kind of red will do. This has a little white polka dot on it, which makes it kind of extra cute. So that's a 10.5 by 10.5 inch block. Then you need two blocks that are 3.5 by 3.5, okay? So these are going to be your half square triangles for the top. So you need a white one and a green one, and I'm using fabric from my line Songbird, which is quite old and very difficult to find at this point. So any kind of green fabric will do. Next up, you are going to need two white squares that are 4.25 by 4.25 squares. And you can see, let's see if you can see it. Maybe you can't because the light's too bright here. But I have a pencil diagonal down each of these along the half, okay? Next up, 2.5, actually you're gonna need 4 of them. 4 total. 2.5 inch squares. So you need 4 white 2.5 inch squares. 2 of them I have drawn pencil diagonals on, okay? If you're joining me late, thanks for coming, you guys. If you're joining me late, you can go back and watch it and get all of the dimensions. Finally, you need 1 green 2.5 inch square. This is going to be the stem on our strawberry today, okay? This is kind of hard because I'm going to be showing you guys stuff from up top instead of like, I've got my sewing machine right here. So I'm still sort of figuring this whole live thing out so that you guys can see everything, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our strawberry block. So the center block, you guys, and we're going to start with these 4.25 inch squares. And what you're going to do is you should have drawn a line right here. So you'll draw a diagonal pencil line across, which I've already done, and you're going to sew directly on that line, you guys. Do not sew a 1/4 of an inch above it or below it. Sew directly on that line. I can't emphasize that enough. And you're going to sew on both sides. Let's see if I can lay it out correctly. Okay, here we go. You're going to sew on both sides here. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to go ahead and sew the one side and show you where that line is. Here we go. It's a tiny bit scary on a live because you guys get my I kind of sing while I talk. It's not because I'm a good singer. It's because I'm just chatting with you. And my pre-live song is Here You Come Again by Dolly Parton. Who else likes that song? Give me a heart if you love that song. I can't get enough of that song. I grew up in the South. And I do love me some Dolly. Okay, so here we go. This is actually the bottom. It's going to go like this. Just like that. And you can see that this is kind of falling off right here. It's because we need to trim this 1/4 of an inch from that sewing line. Let's see if you guys can see that. Oh, the light's too bright. Give me 1 second. We're going to dim this light a little bit just so you guys can see. Whoops. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Can you guys see here? The sewing line. Yes, 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 you can on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay, so you see that line? So I am going to trim up right along that edge, okay? Just 1/4 of a seam, and I'll show you once I have trimmed it up so you can see what it looks like. All right, here we go. Okay, guys, here we go. So I just want to show you that the trim, you can see I've just trimmed it right up against it, okay? And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to fold it in the back so that the seam goes against the red. I mean, this is not a technical thing. For me, I just don't like to see the seam, and the white shows the seam better. And so because of that, I like to have the seam go into the darker area. So in this case, that's the strawberry area. Okay, I'm gonna just press this and show you guys what it looks like. We should still have a 10.5 by 10.5 inch square, okay? I'm gonna show you guys over here on Instagram, okay? So now we are gonna take care of the top part. So you should have 2 white 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares. These have a diagonal as well. You are going to place it at the very top of this square, and we're going to sew along this line. Okay, so I'm going to do that really quick, and then I'm going to trim it 1/4 of an inch from the edge as well. And for those of you who are just barely coming in, this is a block that is being sent out today to my fabric VIP people who are part of my fabric group, which you are welcome to join. You just have to go to karinagardner.com and click on exclusive VIP and choose fabric to get these types of tutorials. I'm sending out a PDF today of it. So it will go out a little bit later today just to hopefully catch as many of you, because then I get the emails, you guys. I get the emails from everybody saying, oh my gosh, I was part of your general list, but I really, really, really wanted that PDF, and I didn't realize I had to subscribe to one of your VIP groups to get it. And the answer is, you know, I try really hard to find the time to make sure and get those people what they want, but what you should do is just subscribe to the VIP so that we can make sure and get it to you the first time. I'm sure this block will also go out again sometime in spring or summer, because I'm sure I will do this again. Okay, you guys, this is your bottom block. Here it is. Woo-hoo-hoo. There's for the Facebook people. Okay, so this is the bottom of your strawberry. Now we're going to put together the stem piece. So we need to start with, we're going to create a half square triangle, okay? And we need 2 pieces, so it's perfect. We just need 1 3.5 inch white square and 1 3.5 inch green square, okay? So super easy. Make sure and put them right sides together. That doesn't matter for your white piece, but for your green piece, it does, okay? So right sides together. I've drawn a diagonal line, and this one is different from this block. On this block, you're sewing right across that diagonal line. You're using the pencil line. On this one, we're gonna sew a quarter of an inch on either side of the line. Does that make sense? Because we need to have some seam allowance. So I'm gonna sew on one side, and then I'm gonna sew on the other side, and then I'll show you guys. For all you awesome quilters who are constantly doing half square triangles, that's for the Instagram people. Can you guys see it over here on, there we go. We're just gonna cut now right in the middle of that where that pencil line is. I was gonna say, for all you guys who are always making half square triangles, this is a breeze, is it not? Okay, so now when I go to press it, I just cut it in half so you get two pieces like this. And if you open it up, when I go to press it, I'm gonna press the seam towards the green, okay? So my seams are gonna go towards the green fabric. And that's again, just because I don't like to see the seams on the white area. Okay, now this needs to be trimmed down to 2.5 by 2.5, each of them, because we want them to fit beautifully. So I've got my ruler, and of course you guys can't see this since this is a live. On my regular fabric tutorials, which you can find on YouTube, I try really, really hard to make it really easy for you guys to see all my cutting and all the stuff I'm doing. So let's see, I just want to make sure that that is perfectly lined up, which it is, but it is cutting. It is a little bit big, you guys. When I practiced this, it was coming out really, really big. I mean, really, really small. And so if you skewed at all, it was terrible because you couldn't get it to cleanly cut. And so I kind of made it the 3.5 or 3.25. You guys can do either one to cut this square, just so you have lots of room so you can trim down, if that makes sense. So let's see. I'm going to show you guys the difference in size on this because this matters. You want to trim it down. Here we go. Trim down one. Original one. Woo, that's a big difference in size, you guys. Big difference. So now I'm going to trim down the second one, and then I'm going to lay it out with you guys so that you guys get a sense of where to go from there. Here we go. I'm a slow trimmer, you guys. Sorry. I'm kind of particular about my cutting. I'm not particular about my sewing. Any particular sewers out there who like their sewing to be just so? Like, give me like a heart or something that if you like love, love, love to make sure your sewing is exactly right. I was teaching at a conference once, and there's this woman who was the most particular sewer I've ever seen. She pinned literally everything, and I mean, her work was outstanding. So I mean, clearly there's something to it. I just get a little too finicky for it, I guess, is the right word. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to lay this out. I've got to hold it up for you guys. So I have my 2.5 inch green square. I have a half square triangle. On the opposite side, I have another half square triangle. Okay, you guys see that layout? So I'm going to sew those together, and then the end pieces are your last two 2.5 inch white squares, which I will show you. Okay, here's the first one. This is my middle stem piece, and then one of my half square triangles, and you can see I've got the green out because it's kind of my little leaf, or I mean, what do you call that piece at the top of a strawberry that's a little jagged? A leaf? A top. A strawberry top. That's probably what it's called. So that's what that is. Okay, finish this. We are almost done with this, you guys. So fast. Okay. Woo, that's your stem, you guys. Okay, so then our final two pieces we are going to put on either end of this strawberry top, okay? Oh, I've got someone from Brazil here. Suda Brazil. Oh, that you love my work. Thank you so much. this is a little known fact, you guys, because my husband speaks Portuguese and he served an LDS mission in Brazil. We went to Brazil last year and we went to Mozambique when we were younger. And so I actually understand some Portuguese, not all, but I can't hardly speak it. So I'm sorry, but hola, Julia Zimo. Did I say that right? Because I can't speak a word of it, but thank you for writing words that I actually understand in Portuguese. Okay, you guys, look, here's our top. Isn't that darling? So cute. Okay, so I'm gonna press this in place. Now, once again, the pressing is a little bit funny. Instead of pressing, you don't have to press all the same way if you want to. You know how like on a quilt, you're like pressing everything the same way so that it all nests beautifully? This is already kind of funky. So for me, I prefer to press everything towards the green, okay? That's just my rule of thumb if you haven't caught it yet. All right, and then I've got strings just about everywhere going on, partially because I'm doing this tutorial, but also because I am a terrible, like, look at all those strings, you guys. Okay, let me trim them off really quick, and then we will add it to the top. My friend Emily Harris, when she quilts, she was showing me, how many of you guys carry or have like a little like seam cutter or like a little trimmer on a necklace on her neck? Did any of you guys have that? I do not. I should though, because I make enough little pieces of string to last me a lifetime everywhere when I do this. Okay, you guys, final thing we're gonna do. Here's our strawberry block and here's our topper. We're gonna sew this so that it looks like that. Oh, isn't that so cute, you guys? Seriously. I can't get enough. It's so darling. I am going to have to finish this out as a full quilt. I was thinking mini quilt, but I think it needs to be a full quilt. Okay, so I'm laying it right sides together, and I'm going to sew the top right on. And if you have a little bit long, look at mine. So mine didn't turn out perfectly. I've got a little extra edge. Just center it, and if you are particular, you can pin it. You can pin it. In fact, yours will probably turn out way more beautiful than mine because you've pinned it. But the point is just to finish the quilt, right? I know so many people who start quilts and then they don't finish it because they're just perfectionists. There is no perfectionism over here, you guys. If you saw the way I quilted, to me, it's all about finishing the project and then making sure the project gets love. So whether it's something you're planning on hanging during the holidays, whether it's something you're giving to one of your kids. I'm gonna press this before you guys show it. I show it to you so you get the big reveal. To me, it's all about like making sure it gets the love, you know, that you've put into it to the people. And then I'm gonna also just trim it down a little bit because I have a little bit of an edge. So I'm just gonna clean up my edge here and not run into my sewing machine. I'm working in a tiny space. Here we go. Okay, guys. You guys ready for it? Dun, 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 dun. Is that not the cutest thing ever? How darling would this be in a spring or a summer quilt? I know it is Christmas time and you're like, Karina, you should have done a Christmas quilt. But to me, like, it's too late to do a Christmas quilt. I guess it's not. You still have 13 days for a Christmas quilt. But spring is around the corner, and so this is when I start working on my spring quilts, okay? So if you have a chance, make sure and make this quilt. I've given you the dimensions. I'll put the dimensions into the YouTube video that I post on it. But what I would recommend is that you become part of my VIP fabric group. You guys get freebies and you get emails with new block tutorials, and you're the first to hear about lives, which I'm planning on doing every Thursday starting in the new year. So probably not for the rest of this year, but starting in January, I'm gonna start doing lives with new block tutorials or even old blocks showing you how to put stuff together. So that's gonna be really fun. and I'm excited for it. Okay, make sure and go check out KarinaGardner.com if you are looking for something specific. And I should also do a shout out that right now we just launched on my birthday the new courses website. So it's the KarinaGardnerCourses.com, KarinaGardnerCourses.com, and we have a free course on there with Illustrator, Intro to Illustrator. It's just a 12-minute tutorial, but it shows you the back end, it gets you on the back end so you can kind of see what it's all about. And then we have an ongoing course going on there. It's called Illustrator Workarounds for our designers. And then right now we have registration open for Silhouette Designer Masterclass, and that registration ends next week. So if you're watching this video way far away, you might have to wait for it because we only open that one up once a year. There will be other classes. Many of you have asked about my old fabric design class. I had a great fabric design class. I've taught lots of designers who have become fabric designers, which is so amazing. I love it. But I am considering either revamping that course, because now I design fabric differently and there are easier ways to design fabric these days. So there is a chance I will open up a new fabric design course either this year or in 2021. So keep your eye open for that. And of course, my fabric VIP always knows about those things first. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later, and let's see if I can, I'm going to have to come out of the screen to close you guys down. See you guys.